Good day, guys. You're welcome back to my channel. I'm Atake from Atake Tears. If you are new here, kindly subscribe, turn on the notification bell, hit the like button, and please do good by inviting someone to my channel. Like, talk to someone about my channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to cut and also how to sew a peplum skirt. Then to cut a peplum skirt, to be needing measurements like full length. This skirt full length is going to be 29. Then the skirt waist, and also the first hip, and then the second hip. And this tutorial is absolutely beginners friendly in the sense that these are just the basic measurements you need when you want to cut a peplum skirt. And then we're working with this lovely African print. You can use a fabric of your choice, but I'm just going to be working with this. Then I start by checking the highest measurement between the skirt waist, the first hip, the second hip. Then I'll measure whatever it is out. In this case, it's the second hip. Mostly is the second hip, but there are a few cases where it will be the person's first hip. Probably people with tummy and all of that. But it's this person's second hip, which happens to be 38. Then I'll measure 38 and add 10 inches allowance. The 10 inches includes the sewing allowance, the zip allowance, whatever allowance you need at all is included in the 10 inches. Then the next I'll do is I'll fold it into 4 just like I did in the video, leaving the zipper allowance at the back. I love to use 1.5 inch as my zip allowance. You can use 2, you can use 1.5, it depends on how you like it. Then the pencil part of this skirt is going to be 21 inches long. Guys, if you don't know how to cut pencil skirt, I have a very detailed video of how to cut a pencil skirt in my channel. I can just put the link in the description box below. Then the skirt is going to have band of 2 inches. I'll put it 2 inches up, then I'll mark 21 inches. I'm adding allowance of 2 inches to the length, after which I'm going to cut it out. Then because of the pattern on the fabric I'm working with, there is up and there is down for this particular pattern. If yours is not like that, you don't have to worry about that part. You just go ahead with your measurement. So after folding into 4 like that, I'm going to measure a skirt waist, which is 28. I'll divide it by 4 because I folded my fabric into 4. Next is I'm going to measure our first hip, which is 32. I'll divide it by 4 because I folded my fabric into 4. It gives me 8, and I'm adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then the next is I'll measure our hip, which is 38. I'm going to divide it by 4. Then it gives me 9.5. Then I'm adding sewing allowance of 1.5 inch. The next I'll have to do is I'll connect the allowance to allowance to allowance and then draw it down to the lower part of the skirt. I don't want it too fitted at that part, so I'm just going to stay right there. If you want it extremely tight, you can just go in a little, just as I'm showing, but it's perfectly okay like this for me. Then I'm going to cut it out. After cutting it out, I need to pick where the dart is going to stay, and to do that I have to know the person's nipple to nipple. This person's nipple to nipple is 7. I'm going to divide it by 2. It gives me 3.5, and I'll be adding allowance of ½ inch, so I'm marking 4 in total. Then the length of the dart is going to be 4 inches long. I'm going to put a mark, then put a notch at that point so that when I get to my sewing machine, it makes it easy for me. I'll just start from that point and sew it down to where the marking stops. So guys, that is it for the pencil part of the skirt. We are moving to cutting the band now. Like I said earlier, the band is 2 inches wide. Then it's going to be 28 inches long because the waist is 28. So I'll be marking my 28, then I'll be adding zip allowance of 3 inches, 1.5 on the left, 1.5 on the right. So I folded my fabric into 2. I'll be marking 14 plus 1.5 inch. Then the length is 2 inches, but I'll be marking 4 because I'm sewing it on fold. Then I'm using ½ inch to sew it, so I'll be marking 4.5 in total. After which I'll go ahead and cut it out. It's a straight dart, so it's not more than that. The next I did was I took it to the sewing machine. I sew it using the person's measurement. This skirt is not going to have lining, so I just weaved it to give it a proper finishing to an extent. I already attached the zip. I sew it, and that is it for the pencil part of the skirt. So the next we need to do is we need to cut the peplum parts of the skirt. And to do that, I'll need to measure where the peplum is entering, where I want it to start, and where I want it to stop. And the peplum part of this skirt is going to be gathered. It's not going to be flay. It's going to be like a straight cloth gathered together to form that flay effect. So it is going to start from somewhere around the left part of the skirt, and then it's going through the down of the skirt. So I'll measure what I have at that point. I have 14. Then I'll measure what I have at the lower part of the skirt. I have 18. I'm going to multiply it by 2, 1 for front, 1 for back. It gives me 36 plus the initial 14 by the side. That's 50. So I have 50 inches. The thing I'll do is I'll cut like 50 times 1.5, or probably 50 times 2. I can make it 50 times 3. It depends on how full I want the peplum to be. Guys, please subscribe to my channel, give my video a thumbs up, share my video amongst your soulmates. Let me know what you think in the comment section. So guys, after then I went ahead to pick up a pieces of clothes, a straight piece. Then I said earlier that the length of the skirt is 29. I already cut out 21, so the length of this one is going to be 8 inches. I cut out 50 times 1.5, and the length is 9 inches plus the allowance that I'll use to sew the down and the one I'll use to attach it to the pencil part of the skirt. I went ahead to sew the down of that piece I cut out. Then I sew a gather stitch on the upper part of it to gather it so that it can give me that pleating effect. So what I'll have to do next is I'll have to pull the thread to gather the fabric, just like I'm doing in the video. I have to be very careful. I can make a video on how to do gathers in my next tutorial. Then I'll pull it to 50 inches. So I've pulled it to 50 inches right there. Then the length of the peplum is 8 inches long. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll attach it to where I want it to be on the pencil part of the skirt. Like I said earlier, it's coming from somewhere on the left side, all through the down at the front, then all through the down at the back. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it. After sewing it, guys, this is the outcome of the skirt. It is very beautiful. I can't wait to wear it for you to see. I love the outcome. It has a very perfect finishing. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please give my video a thumbs up, subscribe. And this is the skirt. Wow, this is so fine. I think I love the outcome of this skirt. You should make yours and see. Thanks guys for watching to the end. Thanks for staying to the end. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.